Well, according to the U.S. and U.K. Defense Departments, Russia has increased its forces around key Ukrainian cities. It comes as both countries are raising fears that Russia may try to use chemical weapons in Ukraine. Cole Higgins has the latest.
A Russian tank up in flames. Ukrainian forces claim they've defeated a Russian regiment, destroying one tank after another while approaching the capital, Kyiv, on Thursday. To the south, a massive crater surrounded by collapsed structures and piles of rubble has been torn into the earth by a Russian airstrike in the city of Mariupol. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations now saying that actions committed by Russia against the Ukrainian people constitute war crimes. The U.S. State Department stopped short of echoing those sentiments, saying they have seen credible reports of war crimes and support an investigation into them.
If the international community determines that war crimes have been committed, that atrocities have been committed, that human rights abuses have been committed, we absolutely will hold the perpetrators accountable.
The United States is now warning Russia may unleash chemical weapons in Ukraine, hiding behind the guise of false flags and misinformation to do so.
Increasingly concerning rhetoric that may be construed as, once again, Moscow projecting onto others what it has intended to do all along.
They not only have the capacity, they have a history of using chemical and biological weapons, and that in this moment we should have our eyes open for that possibility.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Meanwhile, former Vice President Mike Pence visited the Ukraine-Poland border today. The former Indiana governor and his wife met with Ukrainian refugees escaping the Russian invasion. Pence called the impact of the war heartbreaking and said the need for support in the region is great. The former VP has previously spoken out against Russia's invasion of Ukraine, going so far to condemn members of his own party, defending Russian President Vladimir Putin, including former President Trump.